All right. Welcome back inside the war room. Sorry, guys, we didn't have a stream for you guys for Bautista Oliveira. It was Super Bowl Sunday. All of us were kind of out doing different things.
Yes,
Frankly, all three of us didn't really get to watch the event. I had to rewatch. I got to rewatch some of the fights on Paramount, but I got the general gist of what happened. Obviously, Mario Bautista showed levels as we thought he would. But there was one fighter in particular we wanted to talk about, one fight in particular we wanted to talk about that we found the most interesting. So we're making this into a separate video for you guys. We're going to talk about Jailton Almeida. If you guys watched our predictions video, I took Jailton Almeida. I was very confident. I thought it would be quick, easy work for him. I thought he would bounce back after the Volkov loss. I've always been an Almeida believer. I've always been high on him. And to put it short, after Saturday, I think my opinion has really changed.
Sorry.
I think I've given up. I'll start it off that way. But hey, if you guys are here, if you guys are watching the video, make sure you like it up. Make sure you subscribe. If you enjoy what you're seeing, turn those post notifications on. Socials down below. But we want to just do a short video on Jailton Almeida because, frankly, we both think he's cooked. I don't think there's ever been a more frustrating contender in the UFC over the last couple years than Jailton. And the crazy part to me is it's not because he doesn't have talent. He is a very, very talented fighter, and I'm still going to stand by that. It is quite literally the opposite. Again, I used to believe in Almeida. I was really pushing this guy. I thought he was going to be, a big thing at heavyweight. I thought he was going to be a guy, and Chris, I think this last performance kind of felt like the moment you have to accept it might not happen.
Yeah, no, I just don't understand at all what is going on with him. I mean, I completely agree with you. I think he actually is one of the more talented UFC fighters, one of the most talented heavyweights that we've ever seen. I mean, the dude has the skill set, and we've seen it before. Obviously, the striking game, not very good. But the grappling game, the ground game, phenomenal. It's phenomenal, but it's only phenomenal when he wants to do something with it. He's just super passive, and I don't understand what has happened from the beginning/middle of his UFC career to now. He looks like a completely different fighter. He is timid. He looks scared in the octagon. He does not want to, really step into striking exchanges. And even when he has position, he's not even going for the submissions that we've seen him, complete so easily on previous opponents. I just don't understand that, maybe something happened out of the octagon in training, but he just doesn't look like the same fighter that was just tearing up the heavyweight division from the moment he stepped in. I mean, he's huge too. He's a physically imposing guy. And I just feel like he's not using his size correctly anymore. Even in the Volkov fight, I think we should go back to that. He was dominating Alexander Volkov. He had every position that you could possibly get, and he just laid there. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, the skill is there, but there's just there's negative fight IQ. There's just no sense of urgency. Even when Rizvan had him up against the cage, he kind of did the Leon Edwards, Carlos Prates meme where Carlos Prates was just like, whatever, I'm here. Except Prates was in a position to actually, hurt Edwards. And Jailton is standing there while Kuniev, even though he's not doing much, he's doing more than Almeida is, which is nothing. Almeida was doing nothing. He was accepting positions. I just don't get it. I've really never seen this before. I've never seen a guy kind of fall off a cliff like this. But can he get back on the horse? 100%. But there needs to be a change in how he approaches things in the octagon.
There are a lot of fighters in this sport who stick around, give full effort every fight. They just go all out. And we respect them for it. Even if we know they're never going to touch a belt, we still have respect for those fighters. They're fun. They are tough. They, make the division better. And when those guys fall short, it makes sense. But Chris, my whole thing is Jailton Almeida was never supposed to be that guy. Like, this is someone who on paper has everything you look for in a champion, whether it's at 205 or at heavyweight. All right. He burst onto the scene by dominating a guy from Team Habib. All right. Like, that's the biggest statement you could make in your debut. And from there, he just ran through everyone. He is insanely athletic for both divisions. He is an elite grappler. He's technically sound enough on the feet to make it all work. He chose on his own accord to go fight in the weakest division in the UFC. And at his best, he's literally ragdolling much bigger heavyweights who were supposed to be serious contenders. And when the biggest moments came, Chris, as you mentioned, he just doesn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, it's very frustrating to watch, exactly how you put it. I don't understand. I mean, you have all the ability in the world. Even when, you're shooting takedowns and Rizvan's defending the takedowns, he was telegraphing a lot of them, to be completely honest. There was no setup to any of his shots. But even when he was, kind of reverting back to, all right, I'm just going to stand and strike, and I'm not really going to shoot that many takedowns, even run him up against the fence, because Rizvan was doing a good job of reversing along the cage. When Jailton landed, he landed harder than Rizvan did. There's no doubt about that. It's just when Rizvan landed, he threw more than 2 strikes at a time. He was following up, then clinching. He was just doing more with the opportunities he was given. Almeida, he has power. When he was hitting Kuniev, it sounded like it hurt. They were thudding shots, but he would only throw 1 or 2 at a time, and it's kind of just, all right, I'm hoping for a knockout, which against the guy who, you've kind of already given your best shot to, you've seen him take it, he's not really going to get knocked out. You got to string things together. And I feel like that's where the inexperience in striking comes in. He has power. He has great power. And his strikes look crisp. But it's just, being comfortable in those types of exchanges and knowing, all right, I can do this combo. I can follow up with this. It's almost like he doesn't want to get into an exchange because he's scared of getting knocked out. I mean, it's UFC. You're going to have to get hit in the face. And Kuniev was doing a good job of landing. They might not have been as powerful as Almeida's, like I said, but he was landing more. He was landing cleaner shots and, showing a variety in the clinch. Good elbows, good uppercuts. They were kind of few and far in between, but when he had the opportunity, instead of, laying on him, which he did do a lot, I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't. He kind of tried to make it a boring fight, but he had to work so the referee wouldn't separate them along the cage. He would land a nice uppercut. He would land a good elbow. And Almeida did absolutely nothing to get out of any position that he was in. He was kind of just hoping that the ref would say, all right, Rizvan, you're not working towards anything. You got to separate. But even when they separated, Almeida landed back into the same exact position. So I don't know. It's just urgency. I think that's all it comes down to for me, is urgency and fight IQ. And I feel like those kind of go hand in hand. But I mean, like, how do you really teach that at this point? I mean, he's getting older and he's been doing the same thing for God knows how long. I don't understand. And someone like Rizvan Kuniev, I'm not saying he's a bad fighter. He's not a great fighter, though. This should have been an absolute layup for Jailton Almeida, and he airballed.
Yeah, we saw it against Volkov. We just saw it again against Kuniev. There's this weird in-fight paralysis. This kind of, okay, I'm not going to take any risks. That sort of approach that doesn't line up with the physical tools he has. You go back to the Derrick Lewis fight. You look at how he was completely ragdolling Curtis Blades before that setback. Then it seemed like he bounced back against Romanov and Spivac. It felt like he figured it out. Now it feels like he's regressing again, and it just doesn't add up. His coaches are talking about a move down to 205, but honestly, like that's just not the issue. At either weight class, Almeida has the tools to be a champion. Like, this is not about size. It is about his mentality. It is about As you mentioned, the fight IQ, his decision making in the cage. And you also said this, but there's just a lack of a killer instinct. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, you got to be a finisher in the UFC. You have to at least have the semblance of, okay, to win fights, I have to deal damage. There's just no sense of that with Jailton Almeida right now. And I don't know why he's thinking this way. I don't know what made him change away from what he was doing before, because before I do feel like he had the killer instinct, but now it's just kind of gone. And now he's just kind of scared of getting hit. It's literally what it looks like. I really don't know why. You're a fighter. You're a professional fighter. You got to expect hands to be laid on you at some point. But I don't know, Chris. I'm kind of just at a loss for words.
I am too. There's really nothing to say. I mean, I like how you mentioned the potential weight class change, but you move down in weight, you still have the same fight IQ. So it's not like you magically become a better fighter because you change in weight. I mean, it could happen, but those guys have actual fight IQ. And like, I'm really not trying to diss Jailton Almeida, but he's kind of making it easy. He's making it easy for us to really pick on him because you want to be, you want to fight Tom Aspinall, you want to fight Cyril Gane, you want to fight these top guys, and you got into the top 5 in heavyweight, and you're fighting like you want to be in a jiu-jitsu tournament. I just don't understand, really. I don't get it. There had to have been something that happened, because there's no way someone really falls off a cliff like that. Oh, I was just getting a phone call. There's no way that someone just like, I just really don't understand it, man. Like there had to have been something.
So I'll direct your guys' attention to a tweet before the fight. He was doing an interview leading up to this Kuniev fight. I think the most frustrating part for me is he did not take any of the lessons from the Volkov fight. And if I saw this tweet before the fight, I'm not using it as an excuse, but it probably would have led me to change my pick. But here's what he said. He says if his fight with Alexander Volkov was in the US or Brazil, he would have won. They say it was boring, but they say that because I'm Brazilian. Oh, wow. Yeah, buddy. It's because you're Brazilian. It's not because you just didn't deal a single lick of damage in that entire fight and you made that fight miserably uninteresting for everyone else. It's because you're Brazilian. That's why everyone didn't like it.
That so actually makes
go out there and do the same thing.
Everyone loves Brazilian fighters. So what does that even mean?
I maybe this is the fight that'll teach him a lesson, but like, I don't know, man. It's just not enjoyable to watch. You gotta know that. You just have to know that. I don't know how much more I can explain it, but I guess that's a little bit of context for you guys. And I wish I saw that before I made my pick for this. I thought he was going to come back and go back to old Almeida, but it seems that he hasn't picked up on anything from that Volkov fight. In fact, he's completely dismissing it. He's blaming everyone else for his own mistakes. And that's just something that I don't like to see. So I guess we can talk about what's the best path moving forward for Jailton Almeida. Honestly, cut him. Let him go.
I'd be okay with that.
I've seen enough. If you're refusing to fight in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, I think that's grounds for dismissal. And I'm treating it as a bit of an exile. Okay? Let him go out into the global scene for a bit. Send him to fight guys, whether it's an Octagon and Brave, KSW. There's good guys. Like Octagon has Will Fleury. I think that'd be a great matchup. But, I don't want to see him in PFL. I don't want to see him in ONE. I don't want to see any long-term contracts. Like, I want to see him back in the regional fighting scene. Okay? No other promotion. Just go out, get wins. All right? If he goes out there and goes 3-0 in different promotions, in the regionals, and he looks dominant, looks like the guy that we thought he could be, then great. I'd bring him back. Because then you could tell he'd learned his lesson. But right now, it does feel like Almeida's earned a bit of an exile. Like, just let him go out there and earn his way back to the UFC. I think that's how I would play this if I'm the Ultimate Fighting Championship, if I am Jailton Almeida, if I'm his team. I don't think the weight class is the issue. I genuinely think he just should not be in the UFC.
Yeah, almost like giving him the Kyle Dawkins treatment. Like, you cut Kyle Dawkins, look what he did. 4-fight winning streak in Cage Fury. And now he's like a different fighter. He's actually knocking people out and finishing them. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's I wouldn't be disappointed if they cut him. I'd feel bad for him, but at the same time, it's kind of bringing it on himself. There's really nothing else that anyone can do. I mean, that's why, for team sports, it's a team effort. So you all have to work together as a team. But that's the one thing about solo sports, individual sports, is you really got no one else to blame but yourself. So it all falls on your shoulders. And right now, I feel like Jailton Almeida kind of has the weight of the world on his shoulders, because he's given every opportunity in the world to perform, and he's just not. So yeah, I don't really understand. I mean, I just keep going back to the Volkov fight, and if dude landed just 10 ground strikes, he probably would have won that fight. 10. That is not hard when you have the guy pinned down. You have him pinned down. I just don't understand it. Yeah, and then the Kuniev fight, I just felt like that line was such a trap. I mean, Almeida, like we were talking about, you expect him to be a huge favorite. Kuniev, slight underdog, and he just went out and just dominated Almeida. And
I don't think
he
it was
really shouldn't have.
Fight, though.
I wouldn't say dominated, but Almeida gave him really nothing back to contest a unanimous decision.
And for what it's worth, I still feel like Kuniev has not shown me anything.
Yeah,
like, I think that was an incredibly, incredibly dull performance. I don't think I saw anything special from him at all. I'm just way more disappointed in Jailton than anything. It's not often that I come out here on my own accord and just say that I'm wrong, but I'm really frustrated, man. Like, I really am. Because I see the potential, and it's kind of like how DC doesn't like Almeida. That's kind of how I feel right now. I see how good this guy can be, and he just refuses to take the steps necessary to get there.
I agree. Yeah, it's like watching your favorite basketball player. It's like watching Steph Curry go out there and just stop shooting. It's like, take the shot, dude. Come on, take the shot. We know you can shoot. I'm not comparing Jailton Almeida to Steph Curry, but, a basketball player who's a good shooter, they lose their confidence and they stop shooting. That's why I love that Dion Waiters quote. What is it? I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9, because if I stop shooting, it means I lost confidence. I'd rather see Almeida go out swinging than go out the way he's going out right now. It would, it would make me feel better. I think it would make his image look better if he was actually going out on his shield rather than kind of putting his tail between his legs and running away. But I don't know. I think the UFC is going to have a lot of thinking to do with him, because who else are you going to give him? Heavyweight is super thin. It's probably the worst division in the UFC, if we're being completely honest. And do you trade him? Try and get something for him? Cut him?
No,
like Shrikar said? I don't think anyone's going to want him, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know. It's gonna be kind of tough.
Again, I just feel like you got to cut him. Just let him go out in the regionals and get some wins, man. Stack some wins. That's all I can say. But let us know how you feel in the comments about Jailton Almeida, the performance. We did want to put this out a little earlier, so we apologize. But we're putting it out now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just very disappointed. Follow the socials down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on those post notifications. We'll keep putting out these shorter form videos for you guys that are about 15, 20 minutes. It's something that we wanted to start doing. And yeah, we're gonna get on our horse here. So thank you guys for watching. Houston predictions will come next week. Maybe we'll put out another video this week. Stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll do a stream. Let you guys know. Sorry we couldn't get to that recap stream for Bautista Oliveira, but you guys got a whole rant on Jailton Almeida from us, and I guess that's the most interesting part of it all. So we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for stopping into the war room with us. For Chris Schroyer, I'm Shrikar Gendron saying so long. See ya.